We'll get going here on our Monday live. I do have one or two announcements, and then I had to cancel last night, so I'm going to do the announcements tonight. And then I've got a story to tell you. I know that it's rapid fire, but oops, there we go. But I did want to share a couple stories. So, first and foremost, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Once I get done with all my announcements, we will do rapid fire. So, if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, feel free to join. I am only going to read the questions tonight. So, if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, put a couple question marks or explanation points at the beginning or end or both, so it's easier for me to read. And a couple things. Number one, we are selling tickets for QuailCon. They are going fairly quickly, which I'm very excited about. I am starting to work on that this week to finalize a bunch of stuff. So we'll have a bunch of stuff coming out your way very shortly about all of that. But if you want to know more about it, go to our website at myshirefarm.com. There's a little tab that says QuailCon 2022. You can click on that, and that will give you a ton of information about it. We currently have 31 states representing, which is really cool. So 31 different states will be coming to QuailCon so far. So that's really exciting. If you have any questions about QuailCon, feel free to ask as well. And then I did have to cancel my last night's live. We had a rough day. Sundays are my day to sleep in, so I get up at 8. And Jenna got up with our brand new Great Dane puppy that she is wanting to breed at 6. She let him outside. He hasn't went any more than 10 feet away from the house, and fell asleep on the couch, woke me up at about 7:30 and said I can't find the dog. So we searched our property, and then I walked down the driveway, and then I got in the car and I drove back and forth down the road, and then our neighbor's yard, our neighbor's property is 30 acres as well. And so then I started walking that, and I walked all through that, and there's a ton of brush and a creek and all that stuff. So I spent 3 hours just walking all that, could not find them, came back. The kids were just distraught. So we took the mule out and we searched everywhere I had just searched before, and it was not looking good. I had a lot of sad kids and a sad wife. So I decided to just cancel the live altogether because, well, I was not in a good mood, and I was exhausted. I tore up my legs, and it was rough. So then I said, okay. So Jenna, while I was gone searching, she started a Facebook group, a local Facebook group, to say if you've seen this dog. And then we got in the car, all 5 of us, the 3 kids, me and Jenna, and I probably stopped at, I don't know, 30 houses, knocked on the doors, talked to them, gave them our phone number, said if you find them. Came back, I started working on my phone, and I just was not in a good mood. So I was like, Jenna, let's just go outside, let's sit on the porch for a second. So we went outside, we heard something. She goes, every time I hear something, I think it's the dog. And I said, I know, me too, I'm so sorry. And then we heard it again, and I said, I think that is the dog. And she's like, me too. And so we heard it again, and I just bolted, and Jenna did too. So we jumped the fence, and we started going through all this thick brush in the neighbor's yard. Turns out he got lost, and somehow he made his way back to about 400 yards away. Jenna was able to find him. I got stuck in, I don't even know what it was. And she's like, where are you? And I was like, I don't know. So I was like, well, I guess have a good life. I'm lost now. And I finally made my way back, and Jenna still hadn't been able to make her way back. So I went to find her, got her, and carried the dog and got him in the house. The kids were all excited, and that was at about 6:30, and there's just no way I could have went live. So that's what happened yesterday. He was quite an investment because it's a AKC Great Dane. So I was distraught about that a little bit. And of course, a new puppy, and we couldn't find him, and this, that, and the other. But it all worked out in the end. So everybody that saw the post yesterday on Facebook or YouTube and said, your thoughts or your prayers or whatever. I really appreciate it. It all worked out, so thank you very much. So I am back with the live. Again, if you have any questions, I just got a few more announcements and then we'll get going, I promise. I know it's supposed to be rapid fire Q&A tonight, but I wanted to let you know what all the issue was. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it was kind of a big deal for the family. So thank you everybody for being understanding and thinking about it and praying about it. I appreciate that. But it all worked out. He is now back and raising Cain in the house. So that's good. So that was done. Again, I mentioned QuailCon. Make sure you check that out on our website, myshirefarm.com. I'm going to have some good information coming your way. I just finished 2 video edits. One is about the emu fence. We have some good tips and tricks in there. If you're going to put up a fence, we found some cheap and easy ways to do it. So that's going to be very exciting. I just edited a video about the aviary. We decided to go big or go home. So we're going to have that coming out this week. I just edited that. And then I did a best practices brooder video, I think a week ago, a little over that, and I just needed to edit it. Started editing that one and realized that I gave you the wrong information. So I redid that video, so now I just have to edit that one. So that one will be coming shortly. And Duke University just sent me a new genetics video. This one is very, very interesting. I'm very excited about that. It's about inheriting genes. So she's going to talk about the size of quail and how that works and things like that. So she kind of took it into jumbo size, which is what she orders from me. They look more for the size and the health of the quail, which is what we focus on. And so the information coming out on that is going to be really, really interesting as well. So I've got a ton of videos coming your way. I just have not had the time to edit them, and I started working on that. I will finish it before I go to bed tonight so that there's a ton done. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because I've got some good info coming your way with quail and homesteading in general. And then we do have a cookbook that Verna Young, which is our moderator on here and admin on a few Facebook groups, as well as Ed Got Bait. Thank you both for doing everything for the community and helping me out tremendously. I appreciate that. But she put together a cookbook that I think has like 40, 41, 42 recipes for quail eggs and quail meat. It is a digital download. It is on our website. Some of the proceeds are going to Verna because she spent a lot of time putting this together. Some of the proceeds are going to QuailCon. So it is $15 on the website, so you can check that out. It is very well done, and I was very impressed with it. And Jenna put it on the website, and I think we've already sold like 15 of them since last night. So that's really, really exciting. Make sure you check that out. And Victoria, Texas just donated $5 to QuailCon. We did get enough for the 18 and under contest. So any donations you want to give are going to go towards QuailCon for the speakers and things like that. I'm hoping to get something finalized this week or next. I will relay all of that information for you, and then we will start taking donations for specific things as well. But right now, we're just taking donations for a lot of stuff right now. So I'll organize all that shortly. But thank you very much for the donation. I do believe that is all the announcements and the story. We have been very productive on the farm the past couple of weeks. I've gotten a ton of orders out, which I'm very excited about. So we're getting a little bit more caught up with that. I'll be working more on that tomorrow. And then we got the emu fence done. Like I said, we did a video on it and we gave you some tips and tricks we've learned along the way. We also did some stuff with the aviary. And then we butchered on Thursday. We butchered about 120 quail. And I did a video on it, and I had my son take the video, and half of it was a video, and then the other half was a photo. So I'm just going to get a random male out of the barn and just do a quick video for you, so at least you have that. But we're going to be butchering once a month going forward, probably about 100 to 120 a month. And with that, we have at least 3 different ways that we can butcher, and we're going to show you each way. So we're going to show you how to pluck and how to skin. We're going to show you different ways to call and things like that. So, but I'll get that out shortly. I think my next round that will be big enough to butcher will be in 2 weeks. So that video will be coming shortly, and unfortunately, the video did not work out all the way. But I will get that done. But we do still have some really good videos coming your way. And I did order from Premier One the electric fence that we're going to try out, and I'm hoping to get that up tomorrow. So we have been very active on the farm, and right now I only have 1 text message that just came through and no emails. So I am completely caught up. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. All right, it's been 11 minutes and it's supposed to be rapid fire, so I apologize. Let's get right into it, and I will go as quickly as possible. Let's see real quick. There's not too many comments so far, which is fine. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. I know I'm already behind, but I'm going to go ahead, since we missed Sunday night, I'm going to read all of them as quickly as possible so that all of you can say hi or where you're from or whatever you'd like. Let's see. I must have missed one, but you're not talking to me. All right, so Cool Breeze 640's in the house. What was the nature of the emergency? Hopefully you heard all that. AZ Highland Homestead's in the house. Welcome. Says, with warm temperatures on the horizon, is a fan enough for Caternix in a garage if outside is 100 degrees? Yeah, just circulation. If you got some windows or if you can open a door, that would be sufficient. It'll help the smell and the flies if you have a fan in there, but that would work great, yeah. David Lister is in the house from Oklahoma. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Again, Ed Got Bait and Verna Young are the moderators on here, so thank you very much for all you do. Jesse Mills is in the house. Good evening, everyone. Glad you found the puppy, Zach. Thank you. Me too. It was going to be a rough night, but it worked out. Jeff is in the house. Jeff Hardy says, I have a quail due to hatch on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm still on the fence about whether or not to grind the feed. There are a lot of people on both sides. Can you explain why you say not to grind? Yeah, I actually have not had the time to contact the person that needs to do that video, but I will get that done. It is on my list. But long story short, everything that... here's the thing, I'm not an expert at it. They have told me 3 different times and explained it to me, so I'm going to try to relay that information, but bear with me. So all of the feed companies, all the feed is made into pellets, and then they, cut it to make it smaller pellets, or they grind it, or they, whatever. They do a bunch of different things, but it's all scientifically done. There's certain machines that do it all. So with that being said, you've got a pellet, right? With that pellet, it has the right nutrients, the right protein, the right percentages of everything, and they cut it in such a way, or they crumble it in such a way, that each piece still has the right amount. If you regrind that, it's not scientifically done. So there's going to be a lot of those pieces that have no nutrients or no protein or not the right percentages or whatever the case may be, and some that are going to have way too much. So it's more of when you grind the feed, you're losing a ton of quality in that feed. Is the best way that I can explain it. But I will make sure we get that video done, whether they send me a paper to read to you or they get the video done. I will try to get that for you, because the way they explain it makes 100% sense. So if I confused you or you go, what are you talking about? It's not because... it's because I can't relay it correctly. So just bear with me on that. But I will try to work on that. I've got about an hour to spare tomorrow. I'll try to work on that tomorrow. What is this? Yeah. Feed video. I might have enough time to do the butcher video tomorrow too. I'm just going to write that down real quick. Okay. I will look into that tomorrow. I've got about 45 minutes to an hour in my day that is not scheduled yet. Joy's in the house from Western Oregon. Jeff, if you have any other questions about the feed, feel free to ask. That was a general fast summary. But if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I do know that people do grind their feed. Some people grind their feed and have no issues. I have a ton of customers that grind their feed and do have issues as well. So, in my opinion, the best practice is to let it go. And I don't see the point in why you would need to grind the feed, but that's just my opinion. And as I've said many different times before, there's many different ways to raise quail. And that's a good question. Chris A says, as of 6:30 Eastern time, I'm on day 17 of my first hatch. However, there's no activity yet. Incubator temp is 99.5. Humidity is 70%. Should I be concerned? Nope. I wouldn't be concerned until at least tomorrow at this time. If it's the same case tomorrow, you can contact me and I can try to help you out by getting them to hatch, but I wouldn't change anything for at least another 24 hours. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything for at least another 24 hours, so don't worry about it. But my phone number is on the website, myshirefarm.com. You can feel free to text. I do not answer phone calls anymore. Either I'm on machinery, I'm in the yard working, or I'm in the quail barn and I cannot hear. I usually don't get in until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and usually I have a lot. Usually I have around 100 text messages, voicemails, or emails or whatever to respond to. So I don't answer the phone anymore. But you can feel free to text me, and I'll help you out if you're still not seeing any movement tomorrow. But Woman of Spirit is in the house. Blessings all around, beautiful quail people. Absolutely. Joy's in the house. Do male fertility go down when they molt like the hens do? Not really, no. The hens' production will stop, obviously, but the males are still active. They are going to be a little less active, but not a lot. It's not anywhere close like the hens. So the correct answer is they're not as active, so fertility would drop a little, but nowhere near what you would think. And that's a great question. Great question. Whiskey Tango Farms in the house. Good evening from central Wisconsin. Super glad you guys found Hank. Me too. Linda Easton Waller is in the house from Sacramento. My fellow quail raisers. Good to be here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Linda, hopefully you're still on. If you are, let me know. But I had something to run past you. If you can maybe get with me this week, just text me either on Facebook or on my phone. I wanted to run something past you and see what you thought. I've been meaning to try to contact you, and I'm trying to be more efficient, and that just means more work, I guess. I don't know. I did not mention this. We are less than, right? Yeah, we're less than 420 people away from hitting 40,000 subscribers. That is awesome. So thank you very, very much. I just noticed that today. Usually I keep track of all that stuff pretty well, and the past couple of weeks it's just go, go, go. But I just noticed that today. So everybody that's watching or everybody that's going to watch, thank you very much for watching the videos, subscribing, hitting the like button, getting the word out there, sharing videos. You guys are absolutely awesome. So thank you very, very much. And I hope these videos help educate, encourage, and enthuse others to become more self-sufficient. So thank you very much. Jesse Mills is in the house. Freedom Quail Farm is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Victoria, Texas is in the house and donated to QuailCon. So thank you very, very much. Bonnie is in the house from Maine. Glad to hear you found your pup. Thank you very much. Dwayne Waters is in the house. Looking forward to learning. I know I wasted about 12 minutes just rambling on, so I apologize about that. But anybody that has questions, that is what I'm here for, and we will help you on your journey with quail tonight, I promise. S.O. Swanson's in the house. A successful search and rescue. Absolutely. The hours went by and the less I was hopeful, but I'm glad it all worked out. A lot of that was your positive vibes, your prayers and your thoughts. So thank you very much. I really do think that helped. Lawful Axe is in the house. Glad everything ended up well. Absolutely. Sandra Luttermoser, I hope I said that correctly, says, hatch report, 17 healthy chicks out of 30 color mixed eggs. I will write that down. That is not the notebook I'm supposed to use. Excuse me. Where are you? Hold on. I'm just so sorry. There you are. Oh, God, I got to update this as well. All right, let's see. 17 out of 25 color mix. There is more on this page. 17 out of 25 mix. Let's see what else he said. 2 were cracked on arrival, 1 quit after PIP, and the rest hadn't developed by lockdown. That's great. Congratulations. Sounds like you did extremely well. That's great. Congratulations. And thanks for letting me know. Caitlin, I need you to actually contact me about QuailCon as well. Hopefully you're still on. I'm going to write both of those down on my to-do list. Looks like I found my 45 minutes to an hour free tomorrow, huh? Okay. Congratulations. Bonnie's in the house. One of our hens stopped laying about 3 weeks ago. The other 3 are laying just fine, only about 5 months old. It's a little too young to be molting. That's kind of weird. Plus, they kind of tend to mold at the same time, to be honest. 3 weeks goes a little bit longer than what I'd like to see. All right, so my recommendation, Bonnie, would be to put some, you could do Save a Chick, which you can get on Amazon. It's on our Amazon store, but Murray McMurray actually does their own. It's called Quick Chick, and I need to do a video on that too. I'll write it down. Hold on. I need to do a video on that. But long story short, whenever you're changing them to something else, whether you're changing the feed or you're moving them from brooder to cage, or they're at the end of their molt, or even at the beginning of their molt, or if one stops laying or they stop laying after about a week and a half to 2 weeks, you can add some Quick Chick or Save a Chick to the water. A little bit of Rooster Booster you can get from Tractor Supply or Amazon as well will help a little bit. I would say that your lighting is fine. I don't think that's a problem. I would say your male ratio is fine as the others are laying. I think it's more they just need a boost. So that would probably do the chick, either the Quick Chick or the Save a Chick, and a little bit of Rooster Booster in the feed. And that should do the trick within about a week and a half. Let's see. I lost my spot. Oh, Robin C. says, hello all, hope everyone is doing well. Much respect from Michigan. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Let's see. AZ Highland Homestead says, haven't seen Verna yet, hope she's well. I've not talked to Verna today, but I've not heard anything. She might be busy. Lost my spot again. Aura's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Aura, I think you had an order with us and you actually went out today. James is in the house. Do jumbo wild eggs have issues rolling out of the hatching time cages? That I am not too familiar with. I don't have hatching time cages. If somebody on here that has hatching time cages, feel free to let James know. Ziltner, I hope I said that correctly, James Ziltner. If not, you can contact an admin on Facebook of Quail Call, and it's PJ's Family Farm. They might be on here, I haven't seen them yet. But they have hatching time cages, and they would be able to let you know. Again, it's PJ's Family Farm on Facebook, and they are the admin of Quail Call. Carissa and Cole is in the house. All 9 quail are laying in Texas here. That's awesome. Congratulations. Tony's in the house from Toronto. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Robin C. says, any problem with misting quail during the hot days? No, not at all. Light mist. I mean, you don't want to get them wet. but light mist would be just fine. Honeybee rabbitry's in the house. I have a cage with 6 hens and have tried 2 times to add a rooster via the box method. It works for the day, but by morning the poor is beat bloody. Any other tricks I can try? All my quail are 8 weeks old. I have a cage with 6 hens. I'm going to assume they're going to be all the same age. And I'm assuming that you're saying that the rooster is the one that's being beat up. If all of those assumptions are correct, it sounds like this is what I would do. The 6 hens have kind of already claimed their territory. So what I would do is I would take the 6 hens out. I would put the male in because it doesn't sound like he's overly aggressive. It sounds like he's getting beat up. So I'd put the male in, and then in about 45 minutes, I'd put about 3 or 4 hens in, and then I would put the rest in about an hour later. That should do the trick to get rid of that territorial issue. I would try that next. But feel free to let me know if that doesn't work, and I've got a couple different ideas, but that would be the easiest and fastest. Better Homemaking Networks in the house. Glad puppy was found. Me too. Thank you. Victoria Texas says, can I use permethrin 10% around my Caturnix? I think that's okay, but I've actually never done it. If somebody has, feel free to let Victoria, Texas know. I do believe that it's safe for Caturnix, though. I do believe. Happy Hillbillies in the house. Hi, y'all from Old Kentucky. What do you guys use to stop algae in a bucket-fed auto watering system? Well, we do flush the lines out at least once a quarter, once every 3 months. We try to do it a little bit sooner than that. And then we use it's a black food grade bucket, and all the lines are black. If you use, it's the sunlight that creates algae. So using a black bucket or painting the bucket or spray painting the bucket, whatever the case may be, preferably because it's going to be water for them, preferably a food grade bucket, and not being white will help tremendously. And then obviously you can flush the lines out whenever you like. We at least do it once every 3 months, but that seemed to help a lot. The first couple, there's a beetle in here. The first couple of cages that we built, we hooked up the water lines with the white, and algae grew horribly. So we used the black, and we've cut some open after a while just to look at them, and man, it makes a huge difference, the color of them. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, will pearl males look different depending on how many copies they have of the Fee and Fawn gene? I got them from someone on Etsy, and some of the males have much darker heads than the others. Most likely, the pearl is from a golden Manchurian rather than Italian, which can look a little bit different. So the gold Manchurian is kind of very little pattern on the back, but it's got a very, very dark head. And then the Italians have, markings down the back and not as dark of a head. And you can get the same result by putting, if you put golden Manchurians with the Fee gene, then you'll start getting pearls, but they'll be the golden Manchurian side, if that makes sense. So it sounds like you've got a golden Manchurian pearl. Sorry. Victoria, Texas, I've been using the water hose sprayer on cone and giving the birds in the Winola Ranch cage good rain both daily. Hot is an understatement how dry I am. I understand that completely. Sounds like you're taking care of them. McCrack77 says, everybody give the thumbs up. Absolutely support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Susan Kruger says, hi from the little quail hut in Jackson, Michigan. Welcome. Does it help to use black hose on watering system? PS, you need the dog GPS. Yes, dog GPS. Yeah, Jenna actually looked into that for like the collar GPS thing. I'm not a huge fan that it's a subscription. I hate monthly bills, but we're looking into some different things. We're looking into a dog run, which we found a fairly affordable one. That might work. We're also talking about doing the electric fence, the underground electric fence for the dogs, or we could try the GPS tracker. We tried to get one of those collars that like will shock, and we used it on Maggie, and Maggie just did not care at all. So I don't think that'll work, especially with Hank. He seems to be a little bit more unaffected by things. So yeah, Jenna's looking at it now. This one's gonna bother me. Hold on just a second. Got it. Veronica says, Zach, just wanted to thank you for MPIP video. Got my testing and certification today. Awesome. Congratulations. Video really helped me prepare and make things easier for tester and inspector. That is wonderful to hear. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best. The Blazing Beef says, do Egyptian fee hatching eggs from you all carry the fee gene? Yeah, they will all carry it. Some will not show it right away, but their offspring will. And even if an Egyptian hatches out, or would the Egyptian not carry the gene? No, it'll still be in there. It'll be hidden for that generation or that quail, but the offspring will show the fee gene for sure. Good question. Texas Caternix Quail Connection says, I bought the Barado Reel 24 and stacked it with 96 of my own first time ever eggs. Awesome. Congratulations. From the Myshire farm hens and roos that hatched 8 weeks ago. Well, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. So darn excited so far. Loving this auto humidifier. That is wonderful to hear. Congratulations. Better Homemaking Network says, ordered 25 jumbo wild eggs, got 30, 23 fertile, 17 successfully hatched. One was an Egyptian altogether. We're very happy. That is wonderful to hear. Congratulations. 17 out of... Oh dear God, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I moved my notebook. 17 out of 25 jumbo. Congratulations. That's great. And thanks for letting me know. Josh's Punk Rock Garden actually responded to James Ziltner. Hopefully you're still on or you saw it. Says, I don't have jumbos, but they should be plenty of clearance for jumbo eggs to roll out on the hatching time cages. I'm pretty sure you'll be fine as far as eggs rolling out. There you go. Thank you very much for sharing. L. Hornack is in the house, late but finally here from Ontario. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Better Homemaking Network says, I ordered Vibrato last week, got sick of the Nurturite 360. There you go. I think the Nurturite 360 is a good starter. It's not too terribly expensive and it's fairly easy to operate. Long-term wise, I don't know if I would do it long-term, but I think that it's a good first step incubator for sure. Juan Duran says, good to hear your puppy is back. Absolutely, I agree. Thank you very much. Egg Got Bait reminds us to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely, please do so. Dwayne says there's still 11 to 12 week wait on jumbo eggs. Jumbo wild eggs is about 11 to 13 weeks out. The rest of the jumbos are about 6 to 8 weeks. All others, I'm going to say, are about 4 to 6 weeks. I'm actually a little less than that, but I've got to spend a week. And my corporate accounts are a little upset with me, so I have to make that right. So I'm going to be going on vacation out of town the first week of June. So George is going to get a couple orders out, but the rest of that week he's going to be getting those accounts ready because I owe them about 5,500 eggs, and they've been very patient, but it's time for them to get what they need. So I'm going to say 4 to 6, but once those are out and I'm caught up with those, I'll be back in town and then I'll be updating, but it'll be a much shorter time frame except for the jumbo wilds. Doug says hatching time cages were great for me. There you go. Juan Duran says I hatched out some quail 6 weeks ago and got my first egg Saturday, one normal and one twice as big. Today after night shift, I found a girl with her insides and a big egg is outside. I let her drop the egg. Yeah, I would assume that's going to fix on its own. I wouldn't worry too much about it yet. They just got to kind of get a feel for it and things like that. I wouldn't worry too much about it yet. It should correct itself. And then I massaged her twice with oil on her belly on the outsides. Do you think me dropping the auto lights from 16 to 8 hours on all the quail is worth it to try and help her not lay another? No, it should auto correct itself. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I definitely wouldn't change the lighting because that's going to affect all of your quail. If you're worried about her, the one thing you can do is add some oyster shells on the side, and that should help her a lot as well. Big Papa says, do you have any pointers for eBay quail eggs as a buyer? I have tried 3 times and still have yet to hatch a quail. Well, we're on eBay. You can try us. I mean, you can try us on our website too, but yeah, we're on eBay. It's under, oh God. Jen Green -9 maybe? I don't know. I should know, but I don't. She set that up before I got involved, and I just kind of took it over. But we're on eBay, so you can check that out. And we still offer the 50% guarantee, whether it's eBay or the website. David Lister says, what is the best temp range for storing eggs before incubation? It's a good question, and to be honest with you, it's not that big of a deal as long as it doesn't go below freezing or above 99 degrees. Pretty much in between is fine. We set hours on the counter for all 4 seasons, and during the coldest of times, I'll take them into the house, or I'll put them in the brooder room, or during the warmest of summer, I will actually bring them to the house because the brooder room is even hotter. So other than that, yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't go below freezing, I would say rule of thumb would be 40. You really don't want to get too much below that just in case. So anywhere from 40 to 97 degrees, it's not a big deal at all. Ideally, though, the perfect temp is like 75. But Jimmy says, I ordered 25 jumbo mix, 22 went into lockdown, 13 hatched on day 17, day 18 nothing hatched. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, if they're still in there, let's see, 13 hatched on day 17. I would assume that you need to increase your humidity a little bit. So if they're still in there, increase your humidity by about 5 to 7%. I would assume your temp is right where it should be because they started hatching on day 17. So increase your temp and give it about 48 more hours, and hopefully you'll get about 7 or 8 more to hatch. So yeah, give it a little bit more time, but you'll need to up that humidity a little bit more. The Baker's on a Few Acres, I love the name, says, hi everyone, we had 60 mile per hour winds blow my slightly redneck quail hutch with 35-week-olds over yesterday. I checked for limbs, cuts, or abrasions, any other concerns I should have for them. No, they're pretty, I'm glad they're okay. Let's see, they're 5 weeks old. They're going to be super stressed. I would give them the Quick Chick from Murray McMurray. I give them the Quick Chick or the Save a Chick from Amazon. Put that in their water. That's just extra nutrients for them. I would give them that, and I would not really handle them. Usually I say, at 6 weeks old, you can start, moving them through. I'd actually give them about 2 weeks before you get in the cage and start moving them around to let them just kind of calm a little bit. But it doesn't sound like you lost any, which is absolutely amazing. So you should be good to go. Plus, you pretty much checked for the big things already. So that's good news. Victoria Tech says, anyone else in the USA have a full eclipse blood moon last night? Yeah, we actually tried to look for it, and I fell asleep. So that was a bummer. But I have seen a ton of pictures of it so far, which is pretty cool. Rowan Edwards says, "Hey, how you going? How you doing? I'm expecting on Saturday out of 29 eggs when I check on day 10. Only saw 15 good eggs. I really don't recommend candling at day 10 for Caternix quail. You can if you want. Everybody does it differently, but quail is very different with other than with any other poultry or things like that, and they're very hard to cipher sometimes. So I don't candle at least until day 14. Um, and hopefully you didn't throw them out. I'd leave them in there. That would be a pretty low fertility. That or you could increase your temperature by a half degree. Leave them all in there. Leave them, bump up the temperature a half degree, and then let them go to at least day 14. Um, Natasha says hello from New Zealand on day 6 of second hatch. Hopefully a better hatch rate this time. Well, good luck. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you'll do great. Dr. Connie says, howdy from Central Florida. I'm on lockdown with number 5 with the Nurturite 360. I like it. That's awesome. Congratulations and good luck. La Rochelle Farms in the house. Welcome. Wolf Guy says, I have one roo crowing and another just started. They are 5 weeks old, I think. But what age would roos be all crowing? They start around 5 weeks. I would say they'll all be crowing probably by the end of week 6. So you're right where you should be. David Lister says, "What is Roost Booster used for?" Again, it's kind of like electrolytes. It's kind of like the Save a Chick or the Quick Chick, only in a food form, pretty much. And it just helps. It just boosts their system. It just kind of jump starts them a little bit. Texas Caternix Quail Connection says, so the interesting thing I read in the Barado manual, yes, I'm a nerd, it said all poultry eggs should be at 99.7. Sounds good, right? But the twist is at lockdown they said to go to 99.2. Never heard. I disagree with that. That's interesting, but I disagree with that. I mean, you're still in the range. It's kind of weird. I've never heard that either about any of the eggs, any poultry eggs. I've never heard that. Interesting. Let's see. I think that's all the comments, actually, everybody. I think so. So if you have any questions, I will give you guys about a minute or two. We're actually done pretty early, but I did post that I was going to be canceling, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. But that gives me more time to finish those videos to post for you guys this week, so that's okay. But I will give you a minute or two just in case there's any final questions. Remember, QuailCon, check that out. It's on our website, myshirefarm.com. It's September 3rd and 4th. I'm very excited about that. I'll be posting updates hopefully next week if I can get to that this week, so I'm pretty excited about that. I will check on the feed expert and see if they can get that video done for me. I'll try to do the butcher video tomorrow and talk about Quick Chick as well. And I need to finish that brooder best practices video that I think might help a lot of people. I think that's it. All right, let's finish up the comments and then we'll get out of here. So the Blazing Bee says, is it okay to have crowing males in the same stacking cages as the hens? They're separated still. Someone said that they have to be in a separate location away from hens. They don't have to be. It's a good practice to do so. It just helps the males not be so aggressive towards the hens when the hens aren't really ready for it yet. So it's a good thing to do. But if you don't have the space or you can't do it, it's not the end of the world. And yes, the crowing males next to the hens would be not a big deal at all. One says, I'll add oyster shells on the side if you think it'll help. It would help. But out of 8 eggs, I've only had 1 soft egg, and I started giving them some game bird layer feed with their 30% starter that I got. I do believe that it was today during the day, because chicken layer was at the same price. I have also been given the assorted clover from Parks and Wild Bird Seed at the moment as treats. If I remember correctly, I thought that you had said that like one of your quail stopped laying. I thought. If that's the case, then the oyster shells should help, but to be honest with you, they just might need a boost. So the electrolytes, whether it's the Quick Chick or the Save a Chick, should do the trick for you. Bonnie says, thanks for all your help. Not a problem. Glad to be here and glad to help. Thanks for being here. Brian R. says, our 60 egg count hatched out of 48 a week ago. Lost one after 2 days in the brooder. I think we did great. 48 out of 50 you ordered. That is wonderful. Congratulations. Brian R., if you're still on, if you could let me know what kind you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. But that was a great hatch. Congratulations. It is weird that they were saying to drop your temperature at lockdown. I would like to understand the logic behind that. I mean, there might be something to it. I've just never heard it, and in my head that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I would have to look into it. Something to look into for sure. Bethany Gray says, sorry, not a question, but hatched my first set of eggs from the quail I hatched from you in March, my first new generation. That is awesome. Congratulations. That is wonderful to hear. Huge accomplishment. Congratulations. And it sounds like you are well on your way. So congratulations. The Bakers on a Few Acres, I really do like that name, says, I will take your advice with the nutrition and will also avoid handling and try to keep their stress low. I was very surprised that we didn't lose any. They sure are tough. Thanks for all your help. Not a problem. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing you can do now is just not really stress them out anymore. So just let them be for a week or two. Even if you're ready to move them, just push that back a week. And then, the Save a Chick or the Quick Chick should help them a lot, just steady out a little bit, because they're pretty much on edge, I would assume, and that can lead to a lot of things. That can lead to them jumping up and hitting their head. That could lead to lack of production. That could lead to overstress with heart attacks or things like that. So just nice and easy for about 2 weeks. Dwayne Waters says, what's the adult weight on standard jumbo? I don't know what you mean by standard jumbo, but a jumbo is technically considered a jumbo at 10 ounces at 10 weeks old. And it needs to breed true. Priske says, thank you for answering questions. Even when I don't have any myself, I still learn by listening to you answer other people's questions. Well, thanks for being here, and hopefully you learned something tonight and had some fun. No, she had prolapse. Oh, right, prolapse. That's right. It was somebody else with that. Let me actually look back at that for a second. I always tells on the side if you think it'll help, but out of 8 eggs, I've only had 1 soft shell, and I started giving them some game birth layer feed with their 30% starter that I got today during the day, because chicken layer was at the same price. Just be careful switching the feeds back and forth, because that could actually do some damage to your hens. They don't like change, so just be careful with that a little bit. I wouldn't add the oyster shells. I think it's going to auto-correct. I wouldn't worry too much. It's young. It just started laying. I think it'll be okay. Caitlin says, bye everyone, so high for QuailCon. Me too. It's going to be awesome. Jumbo mix. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Congratulations. That's huge. That's awesome, Brian R. Victoria Tech says, would a beehive be good at the entrance to a quail run? I don't know if you'd want it at the entrance. I don't think I'd want it at the entrance. I mean, mine is only, 20 feet away from the aviary. but it's on the side. When the bee guy supply was here, he had mentioned that you really want it about 20 feet away from any structure that you're going to be going in and out of a lot. So that would be the answer I could give you on that. But I am no bee expert at all. I am just fumbling through right now. Oh, nope. Dr. Connie says, FYI, he gave slices of cucumber today. It looked like 5-year-old trying to play a soccer game. Absolutely. They do love them some cucumber, that's for sure. The bees wouldn't hurt him. Yellow jackets are from the devil, but the bees won't hurt him. Stephen Kirk, I hope I said that correctly, says, are the overnight lows too cold for 4-week-old chicks right now in Ohio to move them out? Nope, not at all. They're fully feathered. They've been fully feathered since 3 weeks. They're good to go. We're actually starting to move. George actually moved the rest of them today while I was getting orders ready. Our 3 weeks from the brood room into the grow out cages in our main barn because the temps are fine now. Juan says, I only added a fourth to their starter for the reason since I saw the effects of giving them half and half starter and birdseed for the first time. There you go. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you're doing everything right. I'd let it run. Steven's in the house from Wyoming. Welcome. And guys, I can't remember the last time we finished before an hour. I don't know what to do with myself. Well, everybody, thank you very much for showing up. Thank you for all your support yesterday. It was very stressful, but it all worked out, so I can't really complain about that. And I will work on these videos. Here's the plan. So I'm going to do a video on it, but long story short, we went to Homesteaders of America, and the biggest takeaway I had was efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. And I thought, man, I work 16 hours a day and I feel like I just tread water. So I'm starting to, at this point in time, I'm not capable of taking time for me. It overstresses, like it just, in my head, there's a to-do list, it's not getting done, and so I can't enjoy anything because it's just, I enjoy when tasks are done. That's my enjoyment in life. Lame, right? So I'm not there yet. Hopefully I can get there and I can start taking some time for me. But I don't have any problem working 16, 18 hours a day. I don't have a problem with it. I'm having a problem with just feeling like I'm treading water and I'm never getting anywhere. So when we went to Homesteaders of America, a big takeaway was efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. You can't do this the way you're doing it forever. You have to make it as simple and easy as possible. So I've came up with a schedule and it's not worked out, but I'm going to stick with it. And Sundays are going to be my dedicated day to get a lot of paperwork caught up, orders organized, and YouTube videos done for the week. That's going to be my day on Sunday after I feed and water and do poop and, the 2 hours of chores I have to do. And then I'll do the live that night. So I'm hoping that I can get on that schedule, but I am going to do a video on the efficiency and kind of what we're planning, and that's kind of why we're doing the emu video and why we're doing the water video and another video we're working on, because I'm going to tie it all together and say, I've learned that if we just take the extra time to do it now, it's going to save us so much time down the road. And that's what's hard, because when I want to get started being more efficient and getting things done, it's all these extra tasks that take so long. But in the long run, it's going to save us on a daily basis. Putting the water system inside the aviary is going to help dramatically. Having the emus up front is going to make the place look a whole lot nicer, and having the pigs and the goats in the back is going to make the place smell a whole lot better. But we have to put the fences up, and we have to do this, and we have to do that. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to do, and we're getting it done. But I am getting caught up with the quail barn, and I've got a lot of efficiencies done in there, and that actually has worked out very well. Usually it takes me about 4 to 5 hours a day to get project orders, make foamers, collect eggs, print labels, make boxes, box up orders, go to the post office. I mean, when I say I work 16 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours a day is the same thing every day. So I thought, okay, well, how can I cut this out? And how can I cut this out? Well, I'm not willing to not ship every day. I want the eggs laid same day as shipped. I can't, because it would save me, obviously, 8 hours every 2 days if I just said, well, I'll ship every three days. But I'm not willing to do that. So that wasn't an option. But what I was doing was I was in the shipping room, I looked at my ship list on here, I wrote the foamer, and then I went to go collect the eggs, come back, put the foamer down, and make the next one. Well, that's a lot of walking back and forth. So now I have a cart, I just load up the cart, and I wheel it out there, I collect the eggs, I wheel it back, and then I'm ready to go. And then I was making boxes on the opposite side of the room, making them, and then moving them to the other side to box them up. So I moved everything around, so the boxes are right behind where my kind of conveyor is. So the eggs go there, right behind me is the boxes. I just grab one. So it actually is saving a ton of time. But I want to do a lot of videos because I think a lot of us can try to improve in that manner. I kind of rambled. I apologize, but that's what's going on. Brian R. says, should apple cider vinegar be used in the water? You can. It doesn't hurt. You don't need very much. I don't use it. I wouldn't. Apple cider vinegar would kind of do the same thing as the electrolytes or the Quick Chick or the Save a Chick. Kind of does the same. It's the same purpose. So with that, and I'll do a video on this shortly, which is on here. But with that, I would only give it to them when you move them from the brooder to the cages, when they first, and then when they start laying eggs, and then if there's any disasters, a scarce or the cage falls apart or whatever the case may be, possible predator attack, give it to them then. Beginning and end of any molt, or anything like that. But I will do a video on it. I don't think it's really necessary until later on, is my thought. 5-year plan says it will be 20 days tomorrow, still have 4 eggs unhatched. Should I wait another couple of days? I wouldn't wait a couple more days. This is a good question. What I would do is actually just go all out on it. I'd give it 48 hours. But what I would do is I would increase the temp a half a degree. I'd increase your humidity 10%, and I'd let them run for about 24 to 36 hours. If you see any movement, leave it in. If you don't, cut it off then. But I would just jack everything up, just try to get them real hot and the eggs real soft where they go, okay, I'm ready to break through, is what I would do. It's a good question. Ora says, good night. Thanks, Zach. Not a problem. Thanks for being here. Wandran says, thank the Lord for your streams then. LOL. Got intuition through osmosis, I guess. LOL. Thank you for all your help. You and Terry are invaluable. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Jim 5280 says, I wouldn't recommend placing a hive anywhere you will be working with any regularity, especially if you're in South Texas. Africanized bees can get spiced different times of the year. There you go. Yeah, I would say, I think it was 20 feet away was kind of the rule of thumb. Michael Perry says, evening all in a power outage, or how would you incubate eggs? Like for a short amount of time, you just need to wrap that incubator with a blanket. And worst case, well, what? We've got a generator. There are battery operated heat pads, and we used to have one. And I actually looked for it the other day, and I don't know where it went, but keeping things long term in our house is not very feasible around here because Jenna likes to throw everything out. If it's not used for a couple months, then we don't need it anymore. We're giving it away to someone. So I couldn't find it, but there are battery operated heat pads. This happened once before to us. The power went out, and we were using one of the styrofoam incubators. This was way back in the day. Power went out. She grabbed the battery operated heat pad, put it underneath the incubator, and then wrapped it with a quilt. I think the power came back on about 11 hours later, and it does not seem like it affected the hatch at all. We had somewhere around like an 80, 85, 87% hatch rate in that styrofoam incubator. So that's an option. If you don't have, I don't know a lot of people that have those battery out, and it might have just been a real old one. I don't remember. But the least you can do is just wrap it with a really thick blanket or quilt, and that will help insulate and keep the heat in rather than letting it out. Does humidity inside incubator cause problems with Govee thermometer? Not that I'm aware of. Samir says it's Tuesday, 6 a.m. in India. Good morning. Learning too much from your live session, sir. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We're actually going to get off here. I think that is all the comments. You were the last one, Samir. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for hitting the like button. If you have not hit the like button, do so now and support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We got some good videos that are ready to be posted for you. I'll be posting this week, and I've got a ton of videos that have been requested or asked about, and I will make sure I get those done as quickly as possible. Hopefully on Sunday is the goal anyway. All right. Thank you very much. Until next time, as always, everybody, stay safe.